Nah. Space inside. Space. What space? What dimension are you in? That's okay. Yeah. Okay. Most fundamental thing we know about area. What's the first thing you learned about area? If you can divide the thing into squares, the area is so many squares, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Count the squares, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same as, well, you got so many rows, there's so many in a row and so many rows, right?
Yeah.
So you multiply the number of rows by the number in a row, right? Well, if you're measuring length in terms of, you know, whatever the width of these things is, that's length times width. Okay? Without going into excruciating detail, and if you don't understand this about area, you don't understand area and you're just using mindless formulas. Okay? Because mindless formulas is the way mathematics is taught, at least up through the level of geometry. Okay? Now, not all, you know, it goes beyond that. You know, you are challenged to do a little bit more. But as far as understanding what area is, no, it's formulas, usually. But it's also deconstruction, and most people chose to deconstruct this into a rectangle and a triangle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, well, now you can use this principle to get the area of the rectangle, right? Did you use this principle or did you use a formula? And you probably used a formula, length times width. Do you understand what that formula means in terms of this? Or have you forgotten that in third grade you were counting rectangles? Okay?
Yeah.
Well, most people have, but I don't expect that you all have. But I'm trying to make a point of we want to build mathematics up from the very foundations. And the foundation starts right here in third grade or whatever. Okay? Okay, so what's the area? Well, we'd say it's the area of a 1.15 by 0.5 rectangle plus the area of, and if we do the calculation, we get 0.47 by 0.5 right triangle, right? Okay? Now, what do you know about the area of a right triangle?
It's
Now, if you give me a formula, 1/2 base times height, well, that's correct, but that's a formula. What is it?
same thing. Count.
Well, it's half the area of a rectangle of the same dimensions, because you can slap two of those triangles together into a rectangle and go back to fundamental principles, right?
Yep.
Anybody ever talk to you about that?
Yeah.
Well, that's because, again, it goes so far over the head of most of your semi-interested students. They could all understand it, but you're wasting your time if you talk about it in a class 2/3 of whom is unmotivated, right? Or 1/3 of whatever it is. If you got to get everybody through the SOL, you know that not everybody is going to be motivated to understand the subtleties. And if you're hustling to get everybody through the SOL, you just don't mention it, so you guys got to know that you got to think about those things, right? Just encouraging you to think deeper than what your instructors are able to do with what they have to work with, right? In the situation they find themselves in. Okay. So that's the area of a 1.15 by 0.5 rectangle plus half the area of .47 by 5.5 rectangle. Now, you know what I think? I think you can reconstruct this thing with one simple cut into a rectangle. So you don't even have to think about this, and you get the same result.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'll leave you with that question, and I'll be back here at, well, an hour. Yeah, we have an hour for lunch, right? Okay, 1:45.